Welcome to my expat stories. Today we've got Frank, a 64-year-old retired electrician from Leeds, who did everything the smart way. 14 months, 3 separate trips, met the family, visited the village, saw the land with his own eyes, oversaw the construction. And because he's an electrician, he did something most blokes can't do. He wired the entire house himself. Every socket, every switch, every solar panel on that roof. The work was perfect, qualified, safe, built to last decades. Then one afternoon, everything he'd built stopped being his. If you've ever invested your skills, your savings, and your heart into something, only to discover you were never really part of the plan, this story will hit you hard. Here's Frank. My name's Frank, I'm 64. Spent 41 years as an electrician. Started my apprenticeship at 16. Worked my way up. Domestic, commercial, industrial. Done it all. By the time I retired in 2021, I was running my own firm. 3 vans, 6 lads working for me. Good business, steady work. I sold it for a decent price when I packed it in. My wife Linda died in 2019. Cancer. We've been married 39 years. Had 2 kids. Both grown. Both living down south with their own families. Good kids. They rang every week. Visited at Christmas. But they had their lives. I had mine. And after Linda went, my life was just a house in Headingley and the telly. I kept working for 2 more years after she died. Kept me busy. Kept my mind off the empty house, but by 2021 I was knackered. Proper tired. The early mornings, the cold loft spaces, the crawling under floorboards. My knees were done. My back were done. I was 62 and I'd earned a rest. So I retired. Sold the business. Took the money. Sat in my house and realised I had absolutely nothing to do. My mate Dave had been banging on about Thailand for years. He'd been going since the 90s. Pattaya mostly. I'd always said no thanks, wasn't interested in all that. The bars, the girls, the whole scene. Didn't appeal to me. But Dave kept saying there's more to Thailand than Pattaya. Said there's quiet places. Villages, proper communities. He'd been to Isaan. The northeast said it was different. Rural. Real Thailand. In January 2022, I thought sod it. Booked 2 weeks in Udon Thani. Just to see. Just to get out of Leeds for a bit. The house was doing my head in. Every room reminded me of Linda. I needed distance. I landed in Udon Thani on a Tuesday afternoon. The heat was ridiculous. Proper thick heat. I got a taxi to my hotel. Basic place. Clean. Aircon worked. That's all I needed. The first few days I just wandered. Markets, temples, parks. The city was smaller than I expected. Less touristy than Bangkok or Phuket. Mostly Thai people going about their business. I liked that. Felt more real. On my 4th day, I took a Somchai out to Nong Prajak Park. Big lake. Walking paths. Families having picnics. I bought a bottle of water from a vendor and sat on a bench watching people. Old Thai couples walking together. Kids playing football. It was peaceful. For the first time in 2 years, I felt something other than empty. That's when I saw her. She was feeding the fish at the edge of the lake, throwing bits of bread into the water, wearing jeans and a blue t-shirt, hair tied back. No makeup. She looked about 40, maybe younger. Hard to tell. She wasn't dressed like the women I'd seen in the photos Dave showed me from Pattaya. She looked normal, like someone's mum. I don't know why I walked over. I'm not that bloke. Never was. Even before Linda. I'm not the type to chat up women in parks. But something about her seemed calm, safe, not threatening. I said hello. She looked up, smiled. Said hello back. Her English was broken but clear enough. You like the fish? She said. Yeah. Peaceful, isn't it? She nodded. I come here every week, feed them, make merit. I didn't know what that meant, she explained. Buddhist thing. Doing good deeds, feeding animals, helping people. Building up good karma. I told her that was nice. She asked where I was from. I said England. Leeds. She didn't know where that was. I said north. Near Manchester. She nodded like she understood, but I reckon she didn't. We chatted for maybe 20 minutes. Nothing deep. Just small talk. She told me her name was Som, she was 41, from a village about an hour outside Udon Thani. She'd come to the city to visit her sister. I told her I was retired, visiting Thailand for the first time. She seemed surprised. Said most Farang men her age came to Pattaya. I told her I wasn't interested in Pattaya. She smiled. Said that was good. Before I left, she asked if I wanted to get coffee sometime. I said yes. We swapped line details. I didn't think she'd actually message, but she did. That night, we met for coffee 2 days later. Little cafe near the park. She was already there when I arrived. Ordered already. Paid for her own drink. I liked that. She wasn't waiting for me to pay. Wasn't expecting anything. We talked for 2 hours. She told me about her life. She'd been married. Divorced 8 years ago. Her ex-husband drank. Gambled. Left her with debt. She'd worked in a hotel in Udon Thani for 6 years to pay it off. Housekeeping. Cleaning rooms. She'd just finished paying the debt last year. Now she was back in her village helping her mother. Her father had died 3 years ago. Her mother was 68. Getting old. Needed help with the rice farm. I told her about Linda. About the business. About retiring and not knowing what to do with myself. She listened. Really listened. Didn't interrupt. Didn't try to fix anything. Just listened. It felt good to talk. I hadn't talked to anyone properly in months. We saw each other every day after that. She showed me around Udon Thani, took me to the markets, the temples, places tourists don't go. We'd get food from street vendors, sit in the park, talk. It was easy, comfortable, no pressure. On my 10th day, she invited me to her village, said her mother wanted to meet me. I was nervous. Meeting the family felt serious. But she said it wasn't serious, just friendly. Her mother was curious about the Farang she'd been spending time with. I said, okay. We took a bus from Udon Thani, about an hour through countryside, rice fields, water buffalo, small villages. It was beautiful. Reminded me of the countryside in Yorkshire, but flatter, hotter, greener. Her village was tiny, maybe 50 houses, wooden houses on stilts, dirt roads, chickens everywhere, dogs sleeping in the shade. Everyone knew everyone. When we arrived, kids ran up to Som, shouted her name. She smiled, gave them sweets from her bag. She was loved here. You could see it. Her mother's house was small, 2 rooms, raised up on concrete stilts. Som's mother was tiny, maybe 5 foot tall. Grey hair, big smile. She didn't speak English. Som translated. Her mother said I was welcome, that any friend of Som's was welcome. She'd cooked. Sticky rice, grilled chicken, som tam. We sat on the floor, ate with our hands. It was the best meal I'd had in Thailand. After lunch, Som walked me around the village, showed me where she grew up, the school she went to, the temple, the rice fields her family owned, 3 rai. Not much, but enough to survive. Her mother couldn't work them anymore. Too old, too weak. Som did what she could, but she wasn't strong enough for the heavy work. They hired men from the village during planting and harvest, paid them, but it ate into the profit. We walked to the edge of the village. There was an empty plot, overgrown. Som said it used to have a house on it, burned down years ago. No one had rebuilt. The family who owned it moved to Bangkok. She said it was sad, a good spot, quiet, close to the temple. She'd always liked it. I asked if it was for sale. She said probably. Everything's for sale if you offer enough. I asked how much land like that cost. She said maybe 200,000 baht for half a rai, about £4,500. I didn't say anything, just looked at the plot. Imagined a house there, imagined waking up to rice fields and quiet mornings. No traffic, no cold, no empty house in Leeds reminding me of everything I'd lost. On the bus back to Udon Thani, Som said she'd enjoyed me meeting her mother, said her mother liked me, thought I was a good man, polite, respectful. I told her I liked her mother too. Liked the village. It felt real. Peaceful. She smiled. Said she was glad. That night, lying in my hotel room, I thought about that plot of land. About building something there, a small house. Just a place to be, a place to wake up and not feel empty. I'd spent 41 years building things. Wiring houses, installing systems, making things work. Maybe it was time to build something for myself. I flew back to Leeds 2 days later, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. About Som, about the village, about that empty plot of land. We stayed in touch, line messages every day, voice calls a few times a week. She'd send me photos of the village, the rice fields, her mother cooking. I'd send her photos of Leeds, the rain, the grey skies. She'd laugh. Say England looked cold. I told her it was bloody freezing. In March, I went back. Told Som I was coming. She met me at the airport. We hugged. It felt natural, like we'd known each other longer than 6 weeks. We spent the first few days in Udon Thani, then went back to the village. I asked about the plot. Som made some calls, spoke to the family who owned it. They were willing to sell. 180,000 baht for half a rai, about £4,000. I said I'd take it. Som looked shocked. You serious? Yeah, why not? I've got the money. I like it here. Maybe I'll build something. A little house. Come here a few times a year. Retirement place? She asked if I was sure. I said I was. We went to meet the family. Signed papers. All in Thai. Som translated. I paid in cash. Got a receipt. The land was mine. Well, not mine. Can't own land in Thailand as a foreigner. But it was in Som's name with an agreement that it was for me. She said she'd never take it. It was my land. I believed her. Over the next 2 weeks we planned. Drew sketches, talked to builders in the village. I knew what I wanted. 2 bedrooms. Open plan living area. Big windows. Solar panels on the roof. I'd wire it myself. Do the electrical properly. Make it efficient. Self-sufficient. Som was excited. Said it'd be the nicest house in the village. I went back to Leeds in April. Started the process. Got quotes from Thai builders. Som handled the communication. Sent me photos, updates. The builders broke ground in May. Foundation first. Then the posts. Then the walls. It was happening. I watched it grow through photos online. Every day Som sent updates. It felt real. I was building something. Finally. In July I flew back. The house was halfway done. Walls up, roof on, no windows yet. No doors. But the structure was there, solid. I walked through it, measured the rooms, planned where the sockets would go, where the consumer unit would sit, the solar panel array on the roof. I'd need to come back when the walls were finished, when I could start the first fix. Som was there every day, talking to the builders, making sure they did it right, bringing them water, lunch. She cared, really cared. At night we'd sit outside her mother's house, talk about the future, what furniture we'd get, what colour to paint the walls. She said we a lot. Our house, our future. I liked hearing it, made me feel like I wasn't alone in this. One evening her mother asked me something in Thai. Som translated. She asked if I was going to marry Som. I didn't know what to say. Som looked embarrassed, told her mother to stop. But her mother kept talking. Som translated. She said Som was a good woman. That I was a good man. That good people should be together. I looked at Som. She was looking at her hands. Nervous, I said I'd like that. Som looked up, smiled. Her mother clapped. Started talking fast in Thai. Excited. Som laughed, told me her mother was already planning the wedding. That night Som and I talked. Really talked. I told her I cared about her, that I'd been lonely for a long time and she made me feel alive again. She said she felt the same. That after her divorce she thought she'd never trust a man again. But I was different. Kind, patient. Didn't want anything from her. Just wanted to be with her. We decided we'd get married once the house was finished. Have the ceremony in the village. Invite everyone. Her family. The whole village. My kids could come if they wanted. Make it official. I'd apply for a marriage visa. Stay in Thailand permanently. Leave Leeds behind. Start over. I went back to Leeds in August with a plan. Sell the house. Pack up my life. Move to Thailand for good. My kids thought I was mad. My daughter Sarah said I barely knew her. That I was being reckless. I told her I was 63 years old. If not now, when? She didn't have an answer for that. Between July and October, I sent another £40,000. Windows, doors, tiles, bathroom fixtures, kitchen units, paint. The builders needed paying. Materials cost more than expected. Som sent me invoices, photos of receipts. I checked them. Seemed reasonable. I sent them money. In October, I flew back for the electrical work. The house was nearly done. Plastered. Painted. Beautiful. Som had chosen colours. Cream walls. Blue shutters. It looked like a Thai house but built properly. Solid. I spent 2 weeks wiring it. First fix, second fix. Testing. I installed 8 solar panels on the roof, wired them to an inverter and battery system, connected everything to the consumer unit, ran every cable, installed every socket, every light switch, every ceiling fan. The work was perfect. I labelled everything, drew diagrams, made it so anyone could maintain it, even if I wasn't there. Som watched me work, brought me water, wiped my forehead when I was up in the roof space. At night, we'd sit in the unfinished house. No furniture yet, just us on the floor. Looking at what we'd built, she'd rest her head on my shoulder, say she couldn't believe this was real, that she'd never imagined having a house this nice. I told her she deserved it. She cried. Happy tears. Said I was the best thing that ever happened to her. Before I left, we set the wedding date. March 15th, 2023. 5 months away. I'd come back in January to finish everything. Get the furniture, decorate, then stay for the wedding. After that, I'd go back to Leeds one last time. Sell the house, pack everything. Move permanently. I should have known then. Should have seen it. But I didn't. I was too happy. Too excited. Too busy planning the future to notice the present. That was my first mistake. I got back to Leeds in November, started the process of selling the house. Put it on the market. Estate agent said it'd take 3 months minimum. Maybe longer. Market was slow. I told him I needed it done by March. He said he'd do his best. Som and I talked every day. Video calls mostly. She'd show me the house, walk through it with her phone, show me the progress. The furniture she'd ordered, the curtains, the plants she was putting in the garden. She was nesting, making it a home, our home. In December, she said the furniture cost more than expected. The shop in Udon Thani quoted one price, but when they delivered, they added fees, transport, assembly, an extra 65,000 baht, about £1,500. She was embarrassed to ask, said she'd used all the money I'd sent for the final construction costs. Didn't have enough left over. I sent it, didn't even think twice. What's 1,500 quid when I'd already spent over 70 grand? It was pocket change at that point. 2 weeks later, she said the solar panel system needed an upgrade. The batteries I'd spec'd weren't holding charge properly in the heat. The supplier recommended better ones, Japanese made, more expensive, but more reliable. Another 80,000 baht, £1,800. She sent me the supplier's quote. It looked legit. I sent the money. Then in January, the wedding costs. She needed to pay the temple, the monks, the caterers. Her family was helping, but tradition said the groom pays for most of it. She sent me a breakdown. Temple fee, monk donations, food for 200 people, flowers, music, photographer. Total 150,000 baht, about £3,500. I sent it, all of it. Told her to make it nice, to invite everyone. This was our day, our celebration. She sent me photos of the preparations, the temple decorations, the food being prepared. It looked beautiful. Traditional Thai wedding. Exactly what I wanted. My daughter Sarah rang me in January, asked how much I'd sent Som in total. I told her about 85 grand. She went quiet. Then she said, Dad, that's a lot of money. I told her I knew, but I was building a life. She said, you're building her life. I told her she didn't understand, that Som wasn't like that we were partners. She said, okay, Dad, but please be careful. I told her I would be, but I wasn't listening. Not really. I flew back to Thailand on January 20th. One-way ticket this time. I'd come back to Leeds in April to finalise the house sale and pack everything. But this trip was different. This was me committing, moving forward. The house in Leeds had an offer. Subject to survey, it'd go through. I'd be back in Thailand permanently by May. Som met me at the airport. We drove straight to the village. I wanted to see the house, see everything finished. As we got closer, I felt this excitement building. This was it. This was my new life starting. We turned onto the dirt road. I could see the house in the distance. Blue shutters, solar panels on the roof catching the sun. It looked perfect. Better than the photos. We pulled up. I got out. Just stood there looking at it. It was beautiful. Really beautiful. The best work I'd done in 41 years. The electrical, the solar system, the clean lines. Everything balanced. Everything right. This was my masterpiece. This was what I'd leave behind. Som took my hand. Walked me inside. The furniture was in. Sofa, dining table, bed. Kitchen was fully fitted. Everything she'd shown me in photos, but better in person. Real. Solid. Smelling of new wood and fresh paint. That night we slept in the house for the first time. Our house. The house I built. The house we'd live in together. I lay there in the dark listening to the sounds. Crickets. Dogs barking in the distance. The ceiling fan turning slowly above us. I felt peace. Real peace. For the first time since Linda died, I felt like I was home. The next 6 weeks were busy. Final preparations for the wedding. Meeting relatives. Organising the ceremony. I met cousins, aunts, uncles, neighbours. Everyone was friendly. Welcoming. They'd thanked me for taking care of Som. For building such a beautiful house. For being a good man. I felt accepted. Part of something. Part of a community. Som's mother treated me like a son. Cooked for me. Fussed over me. Made sure I was comfortable. She'd pat my arm and say things in Thai. Som would translate. She's saying you're a good man. She's saying she's happy I'm here. She's saying thank you for making Som happy. But there were moments, small moments, when things felt off. Som's phone. She was on it constantly. More than before, she'd step outside to take calls, say it was the caterer, or the temple, or her cousin. When I asked who it was, she'd get defensive, say I was being jealous, that Thai people just talk on the phone more than English people, that it was cultural. I backed off, didn't want to start a fight before the wedding. One afternoon, I was in the house installing the final light fixture in the bathroom. Som was outside talking to someone. I heard her laugh, high, flirty, the kind of laugh she used with me. I looked out the window. She was talking to a Thai bloke, younger, maybe late 30s. He was on a motorbike. They talked for maybe 5 minutes. He drove off. She came back inside. I asked who that was. She said just someone from the village. A friend. I asked what he wanted. She said nothing. Just saying hello. I nodded. Didn't push it. But something about it bothered me. Another time, we were at the market in Udon Thani. Som went to pay for vegetables. Her phone was on the table. It buzzed. I glanced at it. Message in Thai. But the name was English letters. P. Just the letter P. The preview showed a heart emoji. She grabbed the phone fast. Said it was her cousin. Nickname. Everyone uses nicknames in Thailand. I said okay, but I didn't believe her. I told myself I was being paranoid, that the stress of the wedding was getting to me, that I was projecting my own insecurities, that Som loved me, that we were building a life together. Look at the house. Look at the wedding preparations. Look at how her family treated me. This was real. This had to be real. Famous last words. On March 1st, 2 weeks before the wedding, I was in the house doing final checks, testing all the sockets, making sure the solar system was optimized. Som was at her mother's house. I heard a motorbike pull up, looked out the window. Same bloke from before. The one Som said was just a friend. He walked up to the house, knocked. I opened the door. Yes, I said. He looked surprised to see me, said something in Thai. I said, sorry, I don't speak Thai. He switched to broken English. Where's Som? At her mother's house. Can I help you? He looked uncomfortable, shifted his weight, then said, I am Somchai, Som's husband. I felt my chest go tight. Her ex-husband. No, husband, we marry 8 years. You're divorced? He looked confused. No divorce. We still marry. I just stared at him. He stared back. Then he said, who are you? I'm Frank, her fiancé. We're getting married in 2 weeks. His face changed. Angry. He said something in Thai. Fast, loud. Then he got on his motorbike and left. I stood in the doorway. Heart pounding. Hands shaking. Couldn't move, couldn't think. Her husband. Still married. 8 years. No divorce. I walked to her mother's house. Som was in the kitchen. Cooking. She looked up. Smiled. Then she saw my face. The smile disappeared. Your husband just came to the house, I said. She went pale. Put down the knife. Her mother looked between us, confused. Som said something to her in Thai. Her mother left. Went outside. Now it was just us. Frank, I can explain. You're still married. It's complicated. No, it's not complicated. You're married or you're not. Which is it? She sat down, looked at her hands. We are still married. On paper, but we are not together. We separate 8 years ago. He has girlfriend. I have my life. We just never did the divorce paperwork. Cost too much. Wasn't important. Wasn't important? We're getting married in 2 weeks. I was going to divorce him before wedding. I just needed time. Needed time? I've been here for a year. You had time. She started crying. I am so sorry. I should have told you. I was scared you would leave. I need you. I love you. I sat down. Felt dizzy. Sick. Who's P? She looked up. What? On your phone, who's P? The one who sends you heart emojis. She wiped her eyes. That is Somchai. P is nickname, short for his name. He still texts sometimes. I don't reply. You were laughing with him outside the house last month. He came to ask about money. I told him no. I told him I'm with you now. What money? She looked away. Before, when we together, he'd borrow money from Loan Shark. 40,000 baht. Never pay back. They come to me sometimes, think I should pay. Because I am his wife. On paper. How much do they want? 40,000 baht. But I tell them no. Not my debt. His debt. I did the math. 40,000 baht. About £900. When do they want it by? They say before Songkran. Before April. Or they make trouble. I sat there, looking at her. This woman I thought I knew. This woman I'd built a house for. This woman I was supposed to marry in 2 weeks. And I realised I didn't know her at all. But I also realised something else. I'd already spent £85,000. The house was done. The wedding was planned. Everyone knew. Her family, the village, my kids. If I walked away now, I'd lose everything. The house, the money, the future I'd planned. If I stayed, I could fix this, get her divorced properly, pay off the debt, start clean. That was the logic. That was what I told myself. But really, I just didn't want to admit I'd got it wrong. Didn't want to admit I'd been played. Easier to believe it was just a complication, just a cultural misunderstanding, just something we could work through. So I said, okay, here's what we do. You file for divorce tomorrow. I don't care what it costs. I'll pay for it. And I'll pay off Somchai's debt. Get the loan sharks off your back. Then we can get married properly. Clean slate. She looked up, eyes red. You will do that? Yeah, I will, but no more secrets. No more lies. If we're doing this, we're doing it honestly. Agreed. Agreed, I promise, no more secrets. I believed her. Because I wanted to. Because I needed to. Because the alternative was too painful to consider. I sent her another 115,000 baht the next day. 40,000 for the debt. 75,000 for the divorce proceedings and lawyer fees. She showed me receipts, documents, everything in Thai. I couldn't read any of it, just had to trust. The divorce would take 3 weeks. We'd have to postpone the wedding to April. I told my kids. They weren't happy. Sarah said, Dad, this is a red flag. I told her it was just a complication. She said it's not a complication, it's a lie. I told her I had it under control. But I didn't. I didn't have anything under control. 1 week before the rescheduled wedding, Som came to the house. I was installing the final outdoor lights, solar-powered path lights leading to the front door. She sat on the steps. Quiet. I asked what was wrong. Somchai came back, she said. What did he want now? He say he still loved me. He say he want to try again. I stopped working, looked at her. What did you tell him? She didn't answer right away, just looked at the house, at the solar panels, at the blue shutters, at everything I'd built. Then she said, I tell him I need time to think. That's when I knew. That's when I finally knew. This wasn't a complication. This wasn't a cultural misunderstanding. This was something else entirely. And I'd already spent £118,640 to learn it. I put down my tools, sat next to her on the steps. You need time to think about what? She didn't look at me, just kept staring at the house. He is my husband. We have history. 8 years together before you. He say he change. He stop drinking, stop gambling. He get job. He want family back. Family? You don't have kids? No. But we could. He want to try. He say this time will be different. I felt something crack inside my chest. And what about us? What about this house? What about the wedding? I don't know, Frank. I don't know what I want anymore. You don't know. I've spent over £100,000. I've built you a house. Wired every socket. Installed solar panels. Planned a wedding. Sold my house in Leeds. And you don't know. She started crying. I am so sorry. I thought I want new life. I thought I want to be with you. But when Somchai came back, all the feelings came back too. I cannot help it. When did he come back? When did this start? 2 months ago. December. He came to the village. Say he want to talk. I tell him no. But he keep coming, keep saying he change, keep saying he love me. And I start to remember the good times, before the drinking, before the gambling, when we were happy. 2 months ago, while I was in Leeds planning our future, you were seeing your ex-husband. Not seeing, just talking. He would come to village, we would talk, that is all. That's all. Sam, you're thinking about leaving me for him. That's not just talking. She wiped her eyes. I need more time, to be sure. I stood up, looked at the house, at the solar panels gleaming in the afternoon sun, at the blue shutters I'd painted, at the path lights I'd just installed. Every wire, every connection, every socket, every switch. Perfect. All of it perfect, and none of it mine. How much time? I said. I don't know. Maybe a few weeks, maybe 1 month. I need to see if Somchai really change. If he mean what he say. And what am I supposed to do? Just wait here while you figure out if you want your husband or me. I don't know, Frank. I don't know what to tell you. I looked at her, really looked at her, and I saw it. She'd already decided. She just didn't have the courage to say it yet. She wanted Somchai back. Maybe she'd always wanted him back. Maybe I was just the bank that funded their reunion. The stupid Farang who paid for the house her ex-husband would live in. I'm going back to Leeds, I said. She looked up. When? Tomorrow. Tonight if I can get a flight. But the wedding, the temple, the food, everything is ready. Cancel it. Tell them the groom got cold feet. Tell them whatever you want. Frank, please, don't be angry. I just need time. I'm not angry, Sam. I'm done. You need time to choose between me and your husband. That tells me everything I need to know. If you love me, there'd be no choice. She stood up, grabbed my arm. Don't leave like this. We can talk more. We can figure it out. I pulled my arm away. There's nothing to figure out. You've already made your choice. You just want me to stick around in case it doesn't work out with Somchai. I'm the backup plan, the safety net. I'm not doing that. I walked inside, started packing my things. Som followed me, kept apologising, kept saying she was confused, kept saying she cared about me. I didn't respond. Just packed. Clothes, documents, passport, my tools, the testing equipment I'd brought for the electrical work. Everything that was mine. Her mother came to the door, started talking in Thai. Fast, upset. Som translated. She's saying don't go. She's saying I'm a good man. She's saying Som is making a mistake. I told Som to tell her mother thank you, that I appreciated her kindness. But I had to go. I called a taxi, waited outside. Som stood on the steps of the house. Our house. The house I'd built. She was crying. I wasn't. I felt empty. Hollow. Like someone had scooped out my insides and left just the shell. The taxi came. I put my bags in. Got in. Som came to the window. Said, please don't go like this. I said, take care of yourself, Som. I hope it works out with Somchai. I meant it too. I wasn't even bitter. Just tired. The taxi pulled away. I watched the house get smaller in the rear window. The blue shutters. The solar panels. The garden Som had planted. My masterpiece. The best electrical work I'd ever done. Built to last decades. Just not for me. I flew back to Leeds the next day. My daughter picked me up from the airport. Didn't say I told you so. Just hugged me. Took me home. The house sale had gone through. Completed while I was in Thailand. I had the money in my account. I'd planned to use it for the move. For shipping furniture, for starting my new life. Now I just had it. And nowhere to go. I stayed in a hotel for 2 weeks. Then rented a flat. Small. 1 bedroom. Near Headingley. Close to where I used to live. I couldn't face buying another house. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I went through my bank statements. Added it all up properly. Land, construction, furniture, solar panels, batteries, wedding costs, Somchai's debt, divorce fees. £118,640. Gone. All of it gone. That was 3 years of my electrician business profits. That was a house deposit back here. That was my safety cushion. My retirement fund. I tried calling Som a few times in the first month, just to see how she was. If the divorce went through. If she was okay. She never answered. Eventually, the number stopped working. Disconnected or blocked. I didn't know which. Didn't matter really. 3 months later, I got a message online. From her, just said, "I am sorry, Frank. Somchai and I are together now. Living in the house. I hope you can forgive me someday. Thank you for everything." I stared at that message for a long time. Living in the house. The house I built. The house I wired. The house I installed solar panels on. They were living in it. Together. Sleeping in the bed I bought. Cooking in the kitchen I designed. Using the electricity I generated. And I couldn't do anything about it. I blocked her, deleted the chat history, deleted the photos, deleted everything. It was the only way to move forward. My mate Dave came round a few weeks after that, brought beers. We sat in my flat. He didn't ask what happened. He'd already heard through other people. The expat grapevine. He just said, "Rough luck, mate." I told him it wasn't luck, it was stupidity. He said no, it was hope. And hope's not stupid. Hope's what keeps us alive. I told him that hope cost me 118 grand. He said some lessons are expensive. I said this one was bloody robbery. He asked if I regretted it. The whole thing. I thought about it. Really thought about it. And I told him the truth. I regret trusting her. I regret ignoring the warning signs. I regret not walking away when Somchai first showed up. But I don't regret the work. The house was brilliant. The electrical was perfect. The solar system will run for 20 years. That's good work. That's what I do. I build things properly, even if I'm building them for someone else to live in. I'm still in Leeds, still in the flat. I picked up some small jobs, bit of rewiring, some consumer unit upgrades. Keeps me busy. Keeps my mind off things. My kids come by more often now. Sarah especially. She's worried about me. I tell her I'm fine. She doesn't believe me. She's probably right not to. I haven't been back to Thailand. Don't think I will. Can't face it. Can't face seeing another house with solar panels and wondering if it's mine. Can't face the heat and the smiles and the bar girls and the scams. It's ruined for me now. The whole country, the whole dream of retirement in the sun, gone. Sometimes I think about that house. Wonder if the solar panels are still working. Wonder if they're maintaining the system properly. Wonder if they know how to reset the inverter, if it trips. I labelled everything, drew diagrams, made it foolproof. But I still wonder. And sometimes late at night, I think about Som. Wonder if she thinks about me. Wonder if she feels guilty. Wonder if any of it was real, or if I was just a wallet that paid for her reconciliation with Somchai. I'll never know. And maybe that's the hardest part. Not knowing if I meant anything at all. What I do know is this. I spent £118,640 building a dream that wasn't mine. I wired a house I'll never live in. I installed solar panels I'll never benefit from. I built something beautiful, and someone else is living in it. That's what happened. Some people say I was naive, that I should have known better, that any bloke sending that much money to a Thai woman he barely knows is asking for trouble. Maybe they're right. Probably they're right. But when you're 63 years old and your wife's dead and your house is empty and someone on the other side of the world says they love you and wants to build a future with you, you want to believe it. You need to believe it. So you do. And sometimes that belief costs you everything. I learned that wanting something to be real doesn't make it real. That building something with your own hands doesn't mean you own it. That our future and our house are just words. Easy to say, easy to believe, especially when you're lonely. I also learned I'm a damn good electrician. That house will stand for 50 years. The electrical will outlast the building. That's something. Not much, but something. That's my story. £118,640 for a house in a Thai village I'll never see again. Frank from Leeds signing off. And that was Frank's story. £118,000. 14 months. 3 trips to Thailand. And a house he wired perfectly for someone else to live in. Frank's back in Leeds now, working small jobs, living in a rented flat. The house in Isaan is still standing. The solar panels are still working. Frank knows because he built them to last. He just didn't build them for himself. Have you ever put your skills and your savings into something only to watch someone else benefit? Drop a comment below. And if this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe. This is my expat stories. Catch you in the next one.